Hello my friends, Ahsoka here, and for today's review, we're going to take a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Rebirth Batman. So this figure is based on Batman's Rebirth appearance, which I think is no longer used in the comics. I don't think he's still using this look, which is a shame because I love this look, but here he is. And first, before we get into talking about the figure in more detail, let's dive in to the scale and how he looks next to other figures. So let's just sort of get him to stand here if I could. He's tumbling a little bit earlier. There we go. So first of all, here he is next to the other McFarlane Toys Rebirth Batman. This is actually the Dark Knight's Metal Batman based on the art of the fantastic Greg Capullo. So you can see the similarities in the costume. They're both wearing more or less the same costume, except the one on the right is a lighter gray and is battle damaged. But you can see right away just the size difference in these figures. The Greg Capullo version is definitely a bigger Batman, and is definitely more, I would say, has more of an artistic look to it. The Rebirth Batman is also based, I think, on Ivan Reyes' art. I could be wrong, but he looks great as well. But the Greg Capullo one looks a little bit more, comic booky, a little bit more artistic, if that's the right term to use. I love both of them. This figure is the second version of this particular Greg Capullo figure, the battle damage version. So he's even more damaged than the original version. So, all right, so let's move him out of the way. Let's put him next to the Three Jokers Batman. So as you can see, Three Jokers Batman pretty much towers over the Rebirth Batman. When I put these two together, it almost looks like the Three Jokers Batman is like a regular Batman, and this is like the Dick Grayson Batman. This would honestly make, I think, a great Dick Grayson Batman, just because he has a skinnier body, a more lean body that I think is more Nightwing-esque. So I think, if they ever did a Dick Grayson Batman figure, I think this would be a really easy, buck to use for that particular figure, if they ever do that. So anyways, I guess the point I'm trying to make here is he definitely runs a little bit smaller next to the other Batmans. Here he is next to the Dark Detective Batman, and once again, the Dark Detective Batman is definitely bigger. Here he is next to the Endless Winter Batman, Ski Vacation Batman, as I like to call him. Let's just try to fit them all together. So he definitely is the smallest one out of the bunch. But, I still love the figure, and I'll go into the reasons why in a minute. But there he is next to, let's move this guy over here. It's hard to get this in the camera properly. There you go. So there he is next to a bunch of Batman figures. All right, so let's take a closer look at the figure itself. So the figure itself is beautiful. I say this with every Batman review, but this is one of my favorite Batmans from McFarlane Toys. I love the costume design itself. It's just one of my favorite Batman designs. I love the purple cape. I love the bat emblem with the yellow outline. I think this face sculpt is phenomenal. As you can see, it looks up really nicely. Love the detailing of the suit. It comes with that lovely little grapple gun there, which I think looks great. Almost looks a little Michael Keaton-esque. I love the gauntlets. The gauntlets look great. The detailing is really nicely done there. The belt, it's all great. I love the design of this figure, and I love the execution of this figure. So there's the cape there. There's the back of it. So yeah, it's a beautiful figure. I think the only complaint I would say is that he just run on the smaller side. So next to your other Batman figures, he'll definitely look a little bit smaller, but he definitely looks really nice. Yeah, I've mentioned this in my other videos. Whenever you're doing figures based on a specific artist, whether it's Ivan Reyes or Greg Capullo or Jason Fabok, the scaling is going to be hard to, I think, match up because they do the proportions all very differently, those artists. So I'm fine having different proportioned figures because they're basing these figures on specific art styles, which I really dig. That's one of the things I loved about DC Direct, is that they would do figures based on different artists. Like, we got Jay Lee figures, we got Jim Lee figures, We got figures from Greg Capullo, not Dwayne McDuffie, the gentleman who did New Frontier. Someone will drop his name in the comments. Can't forget his name. But anyways, we get Alex Ross figures. We get so many different artistic versions from DC Direct. And I feel that McFarlane Toys is carrying that on as well. So all the figures we're getting are all based on different comic book storyline, different artists. So the proportions are all going to be kind of different. And again, I'm fine with that. I'd rather have that and have more unique figures than figures that all just match up together. So anyway, that's my little tangent there. But back to the figure itself. Articulation is great. Typical McFarlane articulation. Good range of motion here. The neck, he makes some really fun poses with his neck, his head. There you go. No thigh swivel. I keep saying no thigh swivel because occasionally you get a thigh swivel. Like the Dark Detective back here has a thigh swivel for some reason. I'm not sure what the rhyme or reason is there, but you should be able to make some really cool poses with this figure. I love the bat knee pads. You know what I mean? I love bat-shaped things from Batman. I really dig the new Batman movie and all that, but man, I do miss when like the Batmobile looked like a really big bat. It kind of does in the new Batman movie, but it looks more like a muscle car. Like, you know, it could easily pass as a normal souped up muscle car. So I love it when Batman like makes Batman shaped, you know, knee pads, because that's branding, guys. That's Batman. He's supposed to be a fun character with a bunch of Batman gadgets. We've got a lot of tangents today, guys. A lot of tangents. Alright, so that's about it. There's your look at the Rebirth Batman. This guy is available now in the US. Again, this was my friend picked this up for me from Walmart, so hopefully you will be able to find him pretty easily. Highly recommend it. Again, he does run a little bit small, but I think he'll still look really nice next to your other Batman figures. That's about it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Have a great day.